crazy? Faith is making music now. She has a keyboard and she has a guitar.
So did I. I had a keyboard. My first guitar is a solo.
No, I know. That's what I'm telling you. Cause like for whatever reason, she's got the same shit. But this is a real keyboard with all the keys, right? It's like 36 keys or some shit, 38 keys.
64, I believe. It's
Well,
200 bucks more.
she was mad because her keyboard. She was watching videos. I was trying to get her to learn the keys for kids, right? But she was like, when she went on there, they count the keys for different boards for the different keys, and she couldn't find the one for her keyboard. I was surprised she even knew that at her age. But she was like, I can't find the one because I only have 36 keys. Yeah, so I've been telling her to study the videos and then watch little videos for the kids and then play your piano and then hopefully she gets better at song and singing videos. So you can check it out. I don't think she's ever gonna do anything with the guitar. You never know. You did pretty good with this damn keyboard. I'll tell you that. By the time you're my age, you'll be a pro at that. Alright, last time you know when it comes so I can go to the door. Alright. I think you gotta make Sam's Club orders early, early. See, they must get a lot of people that order shit. So hopefully it gets here though. It seems like they're gonna make it tonight though. You better not forget that. Yeah, it's probably gonna have to be heated up in the oven. Which I don't like to heat pizza up inside the box because then it tastes like the box. What's going on, people? Wait a minute, chicken. Did you just call me the #1 streamer of the year? Wait, where did Jay Biggs go? Jay Biggs said bye, brother T. All right, Jay Biggs. Why you say bye, Jay Biggs? You know what? I wish I was in the hood. I'm actually in the suburbs, bro. Believe it or not, we out here in the burbs, bro. I just know how to make anything look hood. We're in the burbs, bro. There's no crime over here. You'll be lucky to see a cop issuing a ticket to somebody. You from 63rd? No, not me, sir. I see you follow that Chicago stuff, though. I've never even been to Illinois. Although I got some people from out that way. Let me see if I can make this a little bit lighter. Hey, I'm going to start figuring out a way to announce to the people that I'm going to do these videos because I think I'm getting messages off of YouTube that I need to announce when I'm going to do a live. I don't know why. Like, Let me ask you guys a question. I know it's only three individuals right now, but let me ask you guys a question. In these live videos that I make, do you guys feel like I talk about stuff of substance, or are these lives just people talking about nothing? And if so, what can I improve to make this experience like, let's say, someone else's live? You know, I was thinking about making pre recorded lives, but then you guys wouldn't be able to talk to me like you do now. Chicken likes them. I appreciate that, chicken. I really do. That's why I wake up, even though I've already been awake. I'm just saying, I slept in today because it was Sunday, and I stayed up late last. I stayed up late last night, but you know what? You guys stayed up late with me, so that's cool. I didn't like the ending of my live though. I get agitated. I need to work on that. It's hard, but I I let the people in the chat dictate, you know, what comes out of my mouth sometimes. And Jay, what's going on, man? How are you doing? So the other thing I wanted to talk about is my fresh new quotes that come with music and audio. How do you like my new quotes, man? How I'm editing and adding music, and it's not like my original, but I will say this, you know, as you go forward with whatever you do, it evolves. So but I think it's good. But I want to know, what do anyone that's watched any of them think about them, because I'm going to keep them going, right? I got plenty of music to go with them. I got endless amounts of footage, right? The footage that you see were just some test runs, as far as like the little pictures that I made of the parking lots and the street. I just wanted to see how they was going to work with the people, and they actually, like, they did all right. I mean, I didn't get 21,000 views or nothing, but you know, I don't necessarily need all the views. I just want to make sure that they're working. People are commenting, they're saying they're cool. So we gonna keep those going for a while. You're gonna end up seeing another series here in a few weeks of different scenery, right? I'm gonna travel farther out, and you know what? I meant to get some scenery the other night on the 28th, but I forgot. I was chilling with my baby girl. It was her birthday, so I didn't want to interrupt her birthday party with me filming. And it's literally just me filming in one spot. I'm not saying nothing, but like me, I like to film parking lots of grocery stores where lots of cars are and a lot of things moving around in the video. And then I like to add music and then my voice. And I think those are going to be pretty good moving forward into the future, man. So I'm hoping by this time next year, I'll have about 500 or 600 videos of those. I haven't made any videos within the last couple days because I've been going crazy on these short videos, man. I've been going crazy on them. I really like doing it. And music fan just walked in the house. I really like doing these shorts, man. They really make me feel good inside, man. I like how they come out. I like what I talk about. I even feel like it's making my voice change, bro. Like my voice is becoming like Barry White's voice, like a real deep baritone. My voice has always been like this though, but like I never realized it sounds so good on camera. So we gonna keep that up, most definitely. And I still haven't decided about this damn StreamYard, man. I don't think that's a good fit for my page, to be honest. I thought about it, and I don't think it's a good look. Not that it's not a good look. I don't think it's a good fit for what I do. I don't need to interview people. I don't need to bring, because it's not a show. You know what I'm saying? It's just a basic channel that I'm trying to put enough of my own personal energy into it. And what I'm trying to achieve with my channel right now is for it to generate its own energy. So every time I add to it, it's like it is like a perpetual motion to where, I get my views, and a couple of them, they did fairly good. Like I got one, I'm at about 50 likes off a short video, and I ain't got no 50 likes off a short before. So people must have really liked that one. So I'm looking at that one and I'm analyzing it and I'm saying, how can I not necessarily recreate that same one, but like harness that feeling that was inside of that and then bring it back multiple times in different ways. So I'm working on a few different things. And nevertheless, if you rock with me, it's all going to be good. Everything I put out is, up to par. I don't really do no subpar content, but sometimes I do. But I guess that's the learning curve that you go through if you want to step into this content creation space. And another thing is, I think that yeah, that's what I plan on doing, music fan. You know, it is kind of hard work, believe it or not. And the reason why it's hard work is to keep up with the demand of keeping your channel and yourself relevant. It becomes a job, right? It really does become like, I started slowing down on my live videos because I said I was going to do that. Like I was already telling people at the beginning of the new year, here we are in February, I'm like, well, I'm not going to keep doing lives every single day, because the whole point in the beginning of the lives, yeah, I mean, I could play video games, but the problem is I only have GTA 5 and Call of Duty installed on my PlayStation, and I'm not very good at Call of Duty, right? I'm not very good. So I don't want to like go live game streaming just so everybody can watch me die 1,000 times in a row. Because if any of you guys know anything about Call of Duty, they got some very, very good players on that game, man. I'm talking about, these dudes are like, you're going to get embarrassed, is what I'm getting at. Oh, Kanye is back. What's going on, bro? You was rocking with me last night, man. As a matter of fact, I just dropped a video right after the live last night, man. Yeah, yeah. So that's the only reason I haven't switched video games. Now we have Fortnite. I can install Fortnite, but I'm not a Fortnite player, bro. And I know that's like, man, I'm not a Fortnite player, but what if I was too? But I don't even know how I could do if I have to go get one of those. You know what I have? And I found it too, bro. I have you ever heard of a Game Wizard? I think that's what it's called. It's like a little memory card, but you plug it into the TV, or you can plug it into the PlayStation, and it's got like 20,000 games on it. Anywhere from Nintendo to Sega's it's got all these different games that you can install. I don't know. I wonder if I could use it for something else. But I found it I was going to the gas station one day and it was laying on the ground, and I picked it up, and I always right, I always check shit when I don't. I'm the kind of person, if I pick some shit up off the ground, I'm gonna try to like grab a napkin or have some gloves on. Then I'm gonna inspect it to make sure it's not a device that's gonna explode in my hand or nothing. Then I gotta inspect it to make sure, it's not gonna like be a recording device that I don't want to bring in my home. So everything checked out, and I was like, wow. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go grab it and show it to you guys, and tell me what you think this is, because I found it. I looked it up, and it says that it's some kind of memory card that you can play thousands of games on, and I found it. All right, so it's not called a Game Wizard. It's called the Game Stick 4K, right? This is what it is. It's the Game Stick Pro 4K, right? So I guess with this, you can plug it in and you can hook it to. So the thing about this though is I just found out it's even got another memory card on the side, right? The thing about this though is I could hook it to my YouTube, right? But the problem is you need a controller with this. It has its own controller too. So I didn't find a controller. But this port fits into the PlayStation port. So, but when you plug it in, I can't figure out how to turn it on, right? And I just found out it's because you need a controller for it. Yeah, it's plug and play. Absolutely. So, but you need your own controller. So I got to look into where I can find a controller at, which it shouldn't be hard. I'm pretty sure Amazon would take me right to it, but it's called the Game Stick Pro. So I want to see what games are on it. You know, I bought my PlayStation used off of Facebook Marketplace a few years ago, man, and I'm one of those people that even if I became wealthy, I'd probably still drive a used car, right? Not because I don't want a big body Mercedes or a Rolls, not because of that, but like I feel like if I was to become wealthy, I would want to catch up with my dreams, you know? So like when I would see a Pontiac Grand Prix riding down the street, I would say, man, I wish I had that car, right? Now I'm wealthy, I can afford 10 of them, but I'm just going to go buy that car because that was a dream of mine when I was broke. So, you know, I like to buy stuff used. I don't need nothing brand new. I mean, certain things, I wouldn't use a used toothbrush or nothing like that, used bar of soap. But yeah, take some players. Maybe you meant Plyersville Division. Not really sure, but we're gonna assume that you meant to say take some pliers and rip some of these beard hairs out. But I don't know why people hate on such a handsome man. You know, that's an inadvertent way of saying that I am a very handsome individual. But I like the thumbs up at the end of the statement, right? I really do. 641. Oh yeah, yeah. We not too focused on subscriptions tonight per se. I mean, if somebody wanna, like the live and subscribe, that's their prerogative. They can do that. But you know, the one and only Nicole says that I look like I eat Snickers upside down so I could feel the veins. And I say to you, Nicole, such a dirty mind, girl. Such a dirty mind. I would have never thought about that had you not said it. By the way, I don't eat Snickers like that, but I have eaten Snickers. Snickers are not my candy of choice. Just not a real big fan. But um, so once again, my views have been getting suppressed, man. I don't really know why. I remember one day I did a 2 hour segment, right? And it was like 1.4 thousand people. And then I do a 5 hour video and it barely hits 400. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's me. Maybe the algorithm just isn't pushing my the needle anywhere for me. I don't really know, but I know I did a 5 hour segment a while back, and I did 1.6. So the low fours is crazy work because that's not even half of what, for a person to stream 5 hours and stay talking and, interacting with the people the entire 5 hour period. And I was tired last night, man. I was extreme. That's why I drank that coffee, man. I was really tired, man. But I knew I needed to, man. These gut issues make me tired, man. I get real drowsy. Yeah, that's what they keep saying. You got to know the right time. But I picked 8 o'clock tonight, right? And supposedly that's one of the times that you're going to get a lot of traffic. But maybe I picked the wrong day, Sunday. But I figured 8 o'clock at night on a Sunday evening, most people are going to be at the house. But I don't think that's the issue, man. Like I said, there's hundreds of millions of people on this app any given time of the day or night, right? There's hundreds of millions of people. So to see a creator, I'm gonna tell you what it is. These big names hog all the viewers, right? Because I tapped into iShow Speed the other night. This fool had like 375,000 people watching him, and he had within like 30 minutes, this dude had over 175,000 likes. I was like, man, no wonder I Show Speed is the richest YouTuber on YouTube right now, man. And you know what he was doing? All they was doing was they were in Kenya inside of like not the parking lot, but like the loading area of like some business in Kenya, like a maybe it was a banquet hall or an auditorium. I don't know what it was. And they were just racing back and forth, right? They were just racing. And this fool got 375,000 people watching this motherfucker do a quick little sprint. And I was like, man, how do I need to talk to this dude? Because, I Show Speed used to live in Michigan, man. Like, he be coming through Michigan sometimes. I hope I run into him, man. I'm going to slap hands with him and say, hey, man, I need some insight, bro. Now, here's the difference between us is I can't do the same kind of goofy shit that I see you do. But I can do some of it to a point, man, but like not that much though. Like I have to be very selective, man. I don't mind keeping my circle small and my channel relatively small, but I do want it to grow to the point where it's big enough for you to see, but not big enough for the big agencies to want to try to like take it and turn it into something. I don't need $20 million a check, right? I do need that. I do need that, but I don't need it off of YouTube, right? I don't need that shit off of YouTube. But I am going to tell you guys something. This is what I want you to do, man. If you watch the shorts, the ones where I added music, I want you to pay close attention to how I say things, right? Because like I have a cadence that I use, right, to the way I speak, man. And the reason why I have a cadence is because I used to mess around with music a lot. So whenever you making anything with music in the background, you don't just talk random over sound. You want to have a cadence that matches the cadence to the music. And it's like that's an old little marketing strategy that a lot of companies use when they make these commercials with jingles and shit. It's like if you listen to them real closely, they're like talking in cadence. So that's what I be trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And it actually comes out better when you do it like that. Like, you can they claim that it's like, hold on, I gotta go handle something.
You know who else made it off? Melanie Martinez, but you don't see her at the Grammys. Why is Addison Rae there? Beverly Hills Chihuahuas on here.
man. You have a great, safe night, man.
I don't know why Bluey's in this section. No, they have a whole section. Oh my god, they have
I appreciate it, though. You're an awesome guy for that.
I don't see that. I don't see that live action. I don't see that live action.
All right, I'm back, man. I had it. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I just thought of something. Hey,
They have Death Note on here. They have the Promised Neverland. I can finally finish it. Oh my god. Why is it only season two? Whatever. I will be on time for the Promised
that's cool. You didn't say that you got it. I can whip something up quick. All right. Now I'm back for real. I might have to end this in a few though. Man, you know what, bro? The dinner didn't even show up, man. Like we were gonna do some pizza, but they didn't have it available, so I'm gonna have to like probably end this live. Not right this minute, but so I can whip something up. Unless she gonna whip something up. I don't know, one of us gonna have to. But yeah, excuse me for the absence. I'm one of those people when I'm on a live, I step away a lot, man. I don't know if that's I watch other people's and on they lives, they don't do that. But that's what sets me out from other people is like I really step to people like, hey man, I'm gonna tell you something. I am the same exact person on this camera that I am off of this camera. I am the same exact person, bro. And I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but like if someone told me that I was watching, that would mean something to me. I'd be like, really, bro? You did? So you mean to tell me you be doing all that same bullshit you be doing on live in real life too? Hey, you know what? I really mess with you, man, because at least you keeping it real. There's a few things like I smoke, but not on camera. Like, I always had this thing when I was still smoking weed, right? I don't know why neither, bro. I don't like people smoking on camera. smoking weed, smoking blunts. I think when you do shit like that in today's world, you are training yourself to do all kinds of shit on camera, right? And because what we was talking about last night, how in the 80s and the early 90s, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have video cameras. We had cameras that took Polaroid still pictures. And if you wanted to like film, it couldn't, there's no way it could be live. You had to film it onto a tape and then play it later, but there was no access to the web unless you downloaded it to it. You know how, if you're my age, you know what I'm saying. So, right, there was no way to do that, right? You wouldn't be able to see people do it real time. But because of that, it kind of saved me. Oh, what's up, Mr. Piazza? Yeah, Kodak cameras at the grocery stores, and then you exactly, that was like, remember CVS where we had to go to Walgreens and get all your photos developed, and they'll call you when they're ready. It'll be like either a day depending on where you go, or two, or like, you know, music fan, I wish we could go back to those days, man. I wish we could, bro. I wish we could go back. If I wanted to do this same live stream, I would need a big ass camera. Like a camera, not a digital camera, but like a whole video camera. And then I would have to like film it, and then I would have to put it on a tape, and then about after a day or two, I could upload it, and then you would watch it, and then, you know, it would generate a little bit of views, but it would take a while, you know. This shit now is instant, right? And I appreciate that too, don't get me wrong, because this is definitely something that back in the day, I would have strived for too. Like, damn, man, I hope one day we can get to a point where we can just turn on the camera and people can tap in right then and there, leave comments and talk to me. Like, this ain't bad. But what is bad is everything you do on the camera. You're programming yourself to put too much of your business. And I've already put too much of my own business onto the camera as well. But like, I feel like people that don't control what they do on camera, right, is the reason why there's so much incriminating footage out there at any rate now. You know what I'm saying? Because people program themselves in front of a camera to just, you know. And so long story short, I don't smoke on camera. What's going on, love? I don't like smoking on camera. I'll drink. Like, you'll never see me hold up weapons to the camera, alcohol. Like, there's a lot of stuff I don't do on camera, right? But that doesn't mean it's not who I am. It just means that, you know, you got to keep a level of privacy no matter what. You like my hat? You know what? Since you said that, I'm going to go get my hat. Man, I like, you guys just make me think of all kind of shit. You're going to really like my hat, though. Okay, so we're back, bro. I got my real hat, man. What you know about the Carey Brothers? This is a company I did business with right here. That's my Carey Brothers hat, man. Look at the color of it, though. That's a nice hat, man. That's a nice hat. So, I ain't gonna wear the sunglasses tonight, but I'm damn sure gonna wear the hat. And it's all due to the comment. Gullier said, I like your hat. Now you really gonna like the hat. The royal blue thing. And you know, I wear my hats MC8 style. You know, if anybody know who MC8 is, hey man. But it's not even about the hat. It's like, I like what the hat stands for. The Carey Brothers Truck Repair. Complete fleet maintenance. That's the kind of shit I be on, man. Like a lot of, and this hat, let me tell you about this hat, right? This hat was hand delivered to me by the supervisor of this. Yeah, this is a nice hat, man. Look, it's a real nice hat, man. It matched the shirt I had on the other night. So I don't wear the hat, but like, let me get back to what I was saying though, man. We don't do a lot of shit on camera, man. Like, it's just a lot of shit that, you know, yeah, it's a very beautiful color, man. Shout out to Spider Loc, man, for making beautiful a real word. You know, but you know, and then would you want to just do all kind of weird shit? Not, it's not even that it's weird, but like, would you pick your nose on camera? Would you? And you know what? Unfortunately, some people would, bro. Some people would. You know, I like these hats though. I like the adjustable hats. I used to like the pro hats, but I mean, look, this one's still official though. It got the official stamp on it, right? You know, it's still official, but it's just like you can't go wrong with gray and blue, baby. You can't go wrong with it. And and so 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 you know, we got to keep it a certain degree of professionalism to where you can't just like I'm like, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, right? I've been tipsy on the lives before. I never actively drank on the live, but I've been tipsy to where I would start a video and then you probably could tell, like, it ain't hard to tell, but you know, I rather just, you know, not be honest, but not be honest for the sake of just telling too much information. But that's something that I don't mind putting out there because, you know, people do drink, you know. But like to be off the wall shit face, no, absolutely not. It ain't something I would do. But I never liked people who smoked on camera. Like when I sit there and I'm watching somebody, and if they start smoking a blunt on camera, there's a strong possibility I'll swipe away because I don't like that. I just think it's irresponsible. It makes you look like like I remember back in the day when we used to brag about who had the best weed and shit, right? And people would want to roll it and smoke it and like, you know. But the fact here we are with all this technology and people are still trying to act like, you know, they got the best weed. Oh well, you know me. I I could have got a lot of calamity from my videos, but I was just like, fuck it, man. I don't care what anybody says, bro. I'm finna launch this channel. And whatever comes out of it, I've always been the kind of person that I'm gonna handle that. I don't care about what people think about me, man. I don't care about what people say about me. I don't care about how I look. I don't care about how people talk about me. I don't care, right? And I just say that because like you would never have any celebrities if they was too worried about, oh, well, what if I blow up and the world hates me? Well, let them hate you, bro. Hate is energy too, just like love. And negative energy will also help you be seen, right? This ain't about me being seen because I like, but I ain't gonna lie, I be wanting to be seen, man. Man, I used to be out there on that strip in Las Vegas trying to be seen by every damn body, man. Like trying to be a star, man. Like, and I achieved it to whatever capacity, man. Like people knew me, you know. A lot of people knew me, right? And they still know me to this day. Like as long as I'm alive, I'm not a memory. Like I'm a nigga you can reach out to still, right? So people that talk about me as if I'm no longer around, I'm not physically around, but I'm still able. You could tap into the YouTube channel. You can tap into my Facebook. You can email me through YouTube and say, hey, what up, man? It's such and such. You remember me from back in the day? Hey, man, I see you got a YouTube. Hey, man, take my number down and call me. Ain't nobody doing that though, but like I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, I'm underground and low key, but like in such a way where I'm still keeping my radar beacon cycling. You can still find me. I might be underground and low key, but I'm not hidden. You know what I'm saying? I'm there. There's multiple ways to find me, but like, you know, I'm just small, but I'm not hidden, right? So there's a difference from being hidden and being small, right? You know, but like I said, these channels, the way that you keep them from dying is simple. You just keep adding energy to it, right? And that's what I've been doing, right? That's why I stepped my game up on my quotes. I changed the dynamic of them. I changed the style of them, but I didn't change what I'm doing. I just made them more interesting. Instead of seeing my scruffy face and my messed up hair, now you don't have to look at me. I'll give you a nice little scenery in the background to look at. I adjust my voice, and the good part about the app, the editing app that I use, whenever you add audio, it also tunes your voice a little bit based on whatever music you choose. So that's cool to me, right? If you notice too, aside from the cadence, is that when you watch that shit, hey man, it is it's also synchronized to the sound of the beat. Like if you compare the bass levels, they're almost the same. So it blends with the music. And so I really appreciate that app because they really thought of a lot of stuff just for a really, really basic, simple, common little video that you can make and then edit. It actually has some really good quality tools, man. And we always knew that was coming, man. Anybody that did any kind of music from the 90s till now would say that the same equipment that comes on these computer phones and these Apple computers and just any desktop computer is damn near good enough quality to produce a platinum selling album, right? That's the kind of digital quality that they coming with now. So you don't need all this studio equipment. That's why I see these creators and they got like the microphone, they got like the studio, which all that shit is cool, but it's all aesthetics, man. It's just for the visuals, right? But like you can you can tear it all the way down to the basics, right? And still make some quality work with just a phone, a good editing app, and a badass voice. And me, lucky for me, I got a badass voice, man. I can change it to high pitch to low pitch. I can make it even deeper than it is now. So, like, I just took that and said, "Hey, man, this is what we gonna go with for right now until, you know, further notice. We gonna do it like that." And you know, another thing too is my videos that I'm dropping. They're gonna also be incorporated with music. And every from time to time, I'm gonna add the visual effects too, because it's more interesting, man. Like like I was checking out the little inspirational that video. I didn't watch it. Hey man, Left Hook Lawrence, what's going on, man? Big love from Canada, man. I heard that, man. Big love from the Americas, man. If not anyone else, at least it's coming from me, man. I seen you them blue hearts though, bro. But at any rate though, man, you know, my goal is still gonna always be the same, which is right. If you tap in, like we just gonna talk about stuff that's gonna make you smarter, bro. It may not come off like some Ivy League type, information or you know conversation, right? We're not using medical terms and Black's Law dictionary terms, but you still gonna get the message. And a lot of people, And another thing too is the whole reason that I even decided to pull the trigger on this YouTube shit is because I feel like I've been watching YouTube for so long, supporting these content creators, liking they fucking videos, subscribing to their channels. Whole time in the back of my mind, this is the same shit I wanted to take a try. I was like, man, this is what I want to do, bro. Like, I want to do this. And so I'm gonna go ahead and and I know that a lot of people that I've known in my life are gonna see this shit. Whether they reach out, comment, I like fuck them. I don't care, right? Because I know people I know than seen my. Because I'm the type of person where I gets around, right? So if they ain't reaching out and I know and they know that they know me and they just on that, well, fuck you too, then, you know. But like I'm still gonna do my shit regardless, right? But it was something that I knew I wanted to do, right? Because throughout my entire life, even when I was a young lad, knee high to a squirrel's toe, I was giving out advice and information to people, that news that they could use. And people would tell me throughout the time that, like, hey man, you really be putting shit in such a way where it invokes thought in people, man. And like that's rare. And so like even before YouTube, I was just like, I gotta find a way to where I could just, you know, not necessarily be famous, but just really make my mark on the world, right? And it's just like YouTube provides that opportunity for people, man. And I've never been a basic, boring, bland person. So, like, I knew that I would reach some level of success on the low end, and I was cool with that. Like, I never thought I was no high level celebrity. I just know that I can reach success on the low end. So, you know, it's just a thing to where, man, this means a lot to me is what I'm trying to say. This shit is something that you know, I take serious and I feel passionate about because you know a lot of people, you know, can benefit and they can. So what I'm trying to say is like people want multiple sources of information, right? Especially if the information is good and it's solid, right? And it's sound. People appreciate that shit. It's no different than how if today you don't want to go to Walmart, you're going to go to Meijer. And if you don't want to go to Meijer, you may go to Sam Club. Even though all three of those chains have one thing in common, they all sell the same shit. And so my whole thing is just that I want to be able to provide another option for people to tap into and be able to consider shit through my point of view. And it all boils down to the fact that, you know, everybody is built in their own unique way. So it's like we all got the same information, but we all take it in and put it out differently, right? And that's a fact. Like we all got the same information, but we see it different. Some people see the details and other people don't. Some people see the message clearly while other people take, like when I was growing up, like I used to process information real slow. And people, like my teachers used to like try to act as if like I was a slow learner when in fact I was just analyzing and I was like that slow budding plant. Like it just took me longer because I was more detail oriented into, and so I ended up still being really good at understanding things, but it just in the beginning of my life, it took me longer because I really broke it down in my mind to understand every part of something, right? And I still process slow to some point. Gold Prospect, what's going on? I ain't seen you around in a while. Busteretta in the house. Yeah, they it's like a nice warm evening in the summertime, man. You can't enjoy it in your backyard without the gnats flying in your face. So, you know, it's all good though. It's all good though, man. Absolutely. Hands on. But like I said, bro, I needed, I felt the urge. So let me put it to you like this. How many people have seen like an opportunity in business to where there was a void that needed to be filled, and you were that person to say, damn, this is a great opportunity for me, because like you get this rare opportunity where you see an opportunity where other people don't, in a space to where you can fill a void with your own information before someone else does. And even if someone else does, you can still contribute. And so I feel the void, and I feel like it worked for me. And I said it before and I'll say it again. People like me for the shit that I say, man. I'm a very creative individual, and that ain't never gonna change. I'm a be doing this. I don't care if I'm on my deathbed in the hospital with days left. I'm gonna be like, bring me my phone. I need to make a video. I want the people to see me in this condition. I need to tell them what it's like, right? I need to get that information to the people, man. Like I have to. I'm filling a void that I seen, to where, this content creation it's cool, but I see that everybody tries to follow a certain script for the most part. There's people that are unique, but there's also a lot of cats that just, they got put on by a bigger entity than themselves. So they not even putting out grassroots shit. It's a whole lot of creators that are working up under a real business. And so it's not really like in their own words. And so that was the void I wanted to fill. You know what I'm saying? Everything is scripted for the most part. And like, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get outside of that scripted realm. But believe me, if need be, I will take a script and I will read it, and I will. But right now, we ain't doing all that, because I want to keep my channel, like I said, small, but still able to be seen, right? I want my message to be unique, but still very clear. I want it to reach and draw people in, but not too fast, too soon, right? And it's working out perfectly, man. My shit is growing slowly, like it should. I'm not in no rush. I'm not in a race against time. You know, if I pass away tomorrow, man, then this is all y'all ever gonna get from me. But I'm not in a rush to try to put it all out there, because I gotta be inspired. A lot of times when you see these new videos, that's me being inspired. I don't give a fuck if it's at 3 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon. When you see a video drop, just know that was just me inspired, just sitting here looking up in the sky, or listening to the birds and just being like, I got it. I know what my next video is going to be. So I have to rush and get it all together. But in order to do that, I got to have shit in place. That's why I do a lot of filming, right? Because I like to film shit. I could have been a photographer, right? But I tell people, in fact, I was a big time producer in another lifetime. And I feel like I probably did a lot of people dirty and fucked a lot of people over. And that's probably why my life ain't where I want it now. So I had to come back to this raggedy motherfucker to live a life as a poor man so I could be humbled. So I'm hoping that my next life I'll be wealthy again, but I'll be a humble wealthy guy, and I can help people, because I don't think I was doing that my last lifetime. I was in the music business, and I was a tycoon, ruthless motherfucker. That's what I believe. And so now I gotta be a humble guy with no real money. Got the talent, but I don't have the funding, right? And then I got all these challenges placed in front of me, man. Like I got to see the real ugliness of the world. That's you know I was on the wrong end of that shit. So I got every right to really put my shit out there, man. And let motherfuckers know that hey, man, the one thing I'm still getting comfortable with, though, is letting people know what it really is out here, because I can't help but, man, I swear I can feel it in my bones that people already know what it is, especially the people that watch me, man. You know what I'm saying? If I get rich in this lifetime, that's cool. But if not, it's no problem. I'm not out here chasing money, man. I've been on a lifelong pursuit to let the money chase me, man. You know, like you ever seen a girl that likes to get you just, she likes to pull you in just enough so then she can make you chase her. That's how I like to act with money, man. Like she pulls you in just enough to where you start chasing her. And that's the little game she likes to play. That's this. I play the same game with money, man, and success and shit. Like I like to let success know I'm there and I'm ready, and I fit the position, but I gotta try to get it to chase me, you know. So I perform, you know, with this real shit, you know. And if people don't think it's that real shit, they entitled to thinking that. You know what I'm saying? They got every right to think that. But hey, man, I feel like what else would I do, man? Y'all really want me to read off a fucking script and say the same exact shit 10 other creators are saying? Like, is that what people really didn't got they self narrowed down to? Is they just want to hear the same message from 20 different people the same way all the time, every time you turn on the TV? Like the news is already doing that shit. You watch any news station, they all sound the fucking same. All of them. They go to school, they learn how to speak at the same cadence all across the motherfucking country. No matter what news station you tap into, they all sound the same. They report the stories, they have the camera angles the same. They all fuck that, man. Like we need a but see, that's what they claim that is the professionalism of the facade of America is if they can get everybody to do the same thing, then they create this facade, right? And so anybody who goes outside of that facade isn't that popular, because the thing about us is we not programmed to give our attention to anything outside of the main programming. So it sounds off. Like if you hear a grassroots news station, a motherfucker just out there freelancing that's not a part of a major network, you probably are less likely to watch that channel, even though this fool would probably report the real news and what's really going on, and not skip over selective broadcasting and just bring it to you. Whatever story that comes my way, I'm going to put it out there. And there's actually someone like that, right? It's this dude in Milwaukee, right? His name is Jamil. And he goes all around Milwaukee reporting the news, man. And he don't leave out no stories. And the crazy part is he be on the scene more than the fucking news do, right? But the problem is he is outside of the programming. So when you listen to him, it's like on one hand, he's good at what he does. He always has you right there on the scene of some shit, but he's not a major network. So it kind of like makes you feel weird, like because you're used to that programming. So, you know, the more people are popping up and going outside of the program, the better, because then people will get more used to it and normalized to, hey man, these big networks ain't the only ones that's gonna be winning just because they got the fucking ability to program everybody's mind on their side, because they work with the government and the Justice Department and all of our major corporations out here in the world. The little guys, they need their lane too. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what you doing, right? Because I can tell you this, whatever you doing, I guarantee you they got a major network doing it in a programming kind of way, to where every network in that network all report the same way. They sound the same, they look the same, they act the same, they present themselves the fucking same. It's programming. So then you got people that get on YouTube and try to do the same thing as these big networks that like to program your mind. But see, the problem with them is it's a script, like all the way down to the mental perception of it. It's a script. So they don't just want to report selective news broadcasting, but they want to control your mind with it. So that way, when they decide to slip in a fake story, or not even, let's say the story ain't fake, but it's not the truth, right? It's not reported. It's like they leave important information out, you know. Like you should, I'm gonna tell you something, right? This is something people should look up. Don't look up literature on perception. Look up illustrations of perception, photos and pictures of different ways you can perceive shit, right? It's a trip when you look at like illustrations of perception, and you'll see how manipulation is so real and how you can take something so innocent and make it look completely different than what it is, right? But I found for myself that illustrations really paint the picture better than me reading the psychology of what perception is and how your mind can be programmed to see things a certain way. When I seen the pictures of it, illustrations of it, it's a totally different arena seeing the illustration. So look that up and it'll just give you a fresh view. Most people know what perception is, but I don't care. I know what it, I looked it up anyway, even though I knew what it was in advance. And I still was like very satisfied with what I saw, because it just let me know that I knew I was right. And so like, this is even more of a reason why I have to like come from the ground up without allowing myself to try to do it like the system, like the big networks that do all the high level programming. It may not be as interesting because like we don't have $10 million budgets. We don't have high paid anchors and newscasters and commentators and a slot for every sports, weather, crime, you know, what's new in the neighborhood. You know, you watch the news from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. or from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. They got different segments throughout the day where they allow all their newscasters to report and to come with their stories on what they believe is important to the community. But it's like, it's really just programming. So why not sit back and watch the little motherfucker with the live video that will tell you, okay, well, that's the news. You know, they report on a broad scale. They're more, you know, they don't really get into the community unless there's like something tragic that happens. But like, that's why I was telling people, hey man, you know, do you know what a pop-up shop is? Well, if you're in the area, there's plenty of them, and this is what a pop-up shop is. Now let me give you this list of addresses. If you got the money to spend and you got some products to sell, that ain't nothing the news is gonna do. And even if they do it, like I said, they're selective broadcasting and programming. They're only going to push their own people. And if you know anything about these news outlets, they ain't no good for the community, man. A lot of these motherfuckers, I don't want to talk nothing bad about them, because that's not the point I'm trying to make. It's just that you're not going to get the full story like you should. There's going to be a lot of people that get left out, the little guys. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to tell you my version of what I see, and you know, the way that I look at the world and my perception of things. And it will still be like soul food to you, for the simple fact that, you know, you can get this shit from anywhere, but you still want to have options. You want to be able to tap into many different sources, sometimes for the same exact information, sometimes so you can compare information. So you can see who's lying, who's telling the truth, who's misinformed, who's full of shit, you know, who's got the best description of what happened. And if you just got one network fucking broadcasting, they can control your perception, and you sit up there and eat that shit up, and you think this is the way the world is, this is what really happened, when in fact These motherfuckers lied to you from the beginning. They just made up a fabricated story because they got to put it into a script. They got to get what they going to say approved ahead of time before they even report on it. And by the time it gets reported, by the time it gets approved, it ain't even the story because they got to add all this fluff to make it interesting, right? And sometimes the truth ain't interesting, you know. And tragedy and drama is not the only bestseller, right? There's all kind of shit out there. So it's like my main goal is just to, you know, give the people something else to tap into through my eyes and my spiritual lenses. And you know, so far I feel like, you know, it's not coming off wrong. Yeah. What kind of bio lab? See, Music Fan gets it. Music Fan just literally reported some news to me that the main news network didn't report. Yeah, but like, you're right, Lotus Flower, but the only reason that a lot of these people are low frequency is because you'll be surprised at the amount of people that don't understand anything about frequency, and they don't know that their frequency was manipulated, and they have an opportunity to bring that frequency up to vibrate high, but there's people out there that don't even think about shit like that, right? And if the only things that were able to be broadcasted is the programming and the big networks, they're never going to let you know that their goal is to keep you in a low frequency, because then you'll only listen to them. And they know that if you vibe higher, then you're going to start searching for higher sources. Or in this case, lower sources, but like on a higher vibration. And I'm not even saying that news stations are bad. I'm just saying that, like, if you want to sit down in the morning with a cup of coffee and you want to sit there and watch the motherfucking View, and you want to watch them hoes talk they shit, then go ahead. But you ain't gonna learn nothing. You might learn how to bake some fucking cupcakes, right? You might get some celebrity gossip about how Michael Johnson or Magic Johnson's son wants to get a lace front permanently sewed into his scalp. I mean, you can find out about shit like that all day long. But that's what I mean about perception programming and staying in a low vibration. It's just like, it's shit that's not going to do anything to anybody of any significance that's going to do anything for their lives. But like, yet they have a huge network of rich women that don't know nothing about people like us. They were born rich, out the womb, successful, part of the secret squirrel society. They don't even have to worry about the same issues. The biggest issue for them is what kind of shoes they're going to buy after they get off work. Their little $1,500, whatever. But I'm not trying to bash them. I'm just saying, man, the higher the frequency, the more you can see through these programs, and it won't affect you mentally. Right. And the fact, it's so crazy that you say that, because the fact that that's what I be on, like, hey man, they because I've been on my journey, a lot of people try to like target my mental health and say that I got like paranoia, schizophrenia, because like that's just how bad the system wants to keep the real information suppressed. And I haven't even tapped into real information. I'm only a few months into my channel. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I'm still discovering new things and new ways to do it, you know, and new ideas and all of that. But like, you know, like we need the people. And I'm glad that YouTube is a thing, right? It almost feels like, you know, but you got to be careful, because even though you can, like, you can get struck down for so many different things that you would want to speak on, that you got to be careful, because you might have to create a whole new channel. But that's also why I have one ready, because if they decide to strike me down, I'm coming right back with something else. I'm not going to be suppressed for very long. You know, I might have to keep starting over, but hey, that's the story of my life, man. If you know anything about me, man, I was born starting over, man. The day I was born, I was a start over baby, right? Like I told you, I was a big time producer in another life that lost everything because I was an asshole. I was a ruthless individual. I'm a do over baby, man. I had to start over, man. I came up in the world and now I was going to live the life of the people that I fucked over. I was going to be a broke, poor man with big dreams and all these people trying to step on me and control me and do me dirty. And that's exactly what I used to do to people in my other lifetime. Let me go get some coffee. I'll be right back, Jack. All right. Well, hey man, I also wanted to say hey the cat is gone. You guys ain't gonna see that cat anymore. He's not gone. He just moved with a different family member. So he's still around. He'll still come around. But for right now, he's not here, right? He didn't he didn't peed on too much of the furniture. So he had to he had to migrate. Like you ain't just gonna be up over here tearing shit up just because you're a cat and you want to piss on everything. Why am I trying to look gangster? Why are you trying to convey me as a gangster? I'm looking how I've looked all my life. This isn't gangster to me. This is who I am. Calm down, Davy. Why am I trying to look gangster? Why are you not trying to look gangster? You got a problem with gangsters? I thought gangsters were like driving Cadillacs with suits on in New York City. Because that's the way I wear my hats, brother. Why you got pimp in your name? Why would you put Davy and Pimpkin? I never met a pimp named Davy. Although Famous Dave could have been a P. But where you messed up is don't know real P's, use lowercase p's. So remember that. I can't tell, bro. You got the lowercase p, and that's a problem for me. I've been around capital P's. Not proud of it, not promoting it, just saying. So you take your little pea head ass and pipe down, son. Stop worrying about the hat before I leave you fried, dyed, and laid to the side like a perm. You reported me. Oh, absolutely. I'm sure lots of people have reported me. You're just the first individual to actually announce it. I'm the kind of guy that you want to report because I'm the kind of guy they want to get rid of. Because I'm the kind of guy they can't get rid of because they don't like the way I wear my hat. Because I make it look good every time. And he hates on me every time, regardless. You know, I never understood how people wake up to hate, but that's what they do. They wake up to hate. What's going on, Christopher? How are you doing today? Don't forget to like the video, man. Subscribe to the channel. Welcome. Welcome to my humble abode, where all dreams become possible. Right here, buddy. We gonna help you motivate, initiate, and then meditate, and then manifest. You have an announcement. Okay, let's hear it, man. Let's hear it. Don't say no crazy shit though, man. Don't say nothing crazy, right? But we do want to hear your announcement, most definitely. All right, I think Christopher's typing, y'all. I think he's typing his statement in, his announcement. He's finna give it to us. Chris gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you. Your retirement. Oh, okay. Well, congratulations, everybody. Chris is retiring from Nelson High School as of tomorrow morning, effective Monday. Congratulations, man, for successfully completing a good job, bro. I've been retired for a couple months now. I wish that I could have retired with a pension or, with stuff like that, but I gotta take what I could take, which is forced retirement with zero funds to support myself because I vibrate too high for the demons out there in the cesspool called life. But you, on the other hand, Chris, have done a great job because I'm sure to reach retirement tomorrow, how many years did you put into your craft, man? How many years you been at Nelson High School? I'm thinking at least 50 or 60. That's what I'm thinking. I think he's typing again. But anyway, so yeah, man, I can't wait to get on these and I'm only gonna do this because I want to try it out, like a pre-recorded live to where I log it in as a premiere so you get to watch the countdown and shit. What I don't like is sometimes the premieres count for 2 minutes. I don't want to sit there and watch a 2 minute countdown for anything, man. The most, at the very most, is 30 seconds. But like when you getting into like a 2 minute countdown, like I get it. That's a way to draw people in and shit. Like and then the video happens and it's just like mid, super mid. Me personally, I really don't think that video should be categorized as fire, mid, or just regular because it's just a video. And it may be mid to you, but it may be fire to somebody else. There's no such thing as a mid video, unless you're doing something that absolutely nobody in the world cares about, which I don't even know what that could be. What would be a video that you could make where no one in the world would care about? I don't even know what kind of video that would be. But I'm sure that they've got them. You make a video and nobody in the entire planet gives a damn about it. because there's somebody out there to care for every single thing, right? But if you can find a video that absolutely nobody in the world cares about, then we can call that one mid. But I don't see that as mid because, like, how? Just think of it for, like, really try to picture that in your mind. What kind of video could you put out that nobody would care about? You ain't gonna find one because somebody somewhere gonna be like, oh man, that's dope. I like that. Even if you go out in the backyard, put your camera to the grass, go find you a pile of animal turds and eat them, somebody's gonna like it. Somebody's gonna like it. The problem with our society is somebody's gonna try it. Somebody's gonna be influenced to do it themselves. And you might just blow up as the first person to go in the backyard and eat animal droppings. And now you got a whole trend trending online. They done started challenges. Now they got the animal dropping eating dance, all because of you. You'll be surprised, Jacob. You will be surprised what people like. Actually, I don't think you would, though. If you're normal and you're not very, um, what's the word I'm looking for? You're not very, tapped into the world and everything around you and just have a wide range of knowledge, then you would think nobody would like eating dog shit, but there's people who do it all the time. Maybe not you, but that don't mean that it's not worth knowing that there are actually, do I know anybody? No, but I know of videos. You can literally go type videos of people doing it. And not just dog shit, but all types of shit from many different asses, right? But it ain't just one thing, no. Um, but it's just you got to know these things. How many times did you drop the soap in prison, sir? Well, I use soap on a rope, so I never dropped my soap. You know what you do? You drill a hole right through the center of your bar and you run a little string through it and you wrap it around your wrist. Because if you don't want to drop it, that's a good way to prevent from dropping it. Just, you ever heard of soap on a rope? There's a reason that even became a thing. Soap on a rope. Soap on a rope. Only thing is, in the county jail, the soap's too small. You'll have to like run a piece of sewing string through it. Or you could do what some guys do where they melt it down in water, crush it till it's powder, melt it in water, get some alcohol pads from the nurse that helps dissolve it even more, and then you reform it into a big bar. Only thing is, you get caught with it, you might get in trouble with it. Because they're going to say, oh, you're making weapons out of soap, huh? You know what? Let me tell you something about soap. Quick story. Let me tell you how real the hustle is, right? The hustle and the struggle is real, and I'm going to prove it. So there's guys who get out of jail and they're dead broke. They ain't got no money. So what you think a guy getting out of jail could do to get some quick money in a sleazy way without having to really take a huge risk to do it? Well, I'll tell you. Go get you a bar or two of some jailhouse soap, right? Go break it down in such a way to where it looks like crack rock. And you can even bag it up right there in jail to where when you get released, you got a whole hand of little stones that look like the real deal, right? And then most jails are always around drug infested areas. And if you know, you know the soap scam. You're damn right. And what jail you ever seen that's not in the bad side of town where there's drugs nearby? And you go, you need you a quick 20, 40, 60 bucks. Go sell you only gonna get away with a few before they get on you, right? And you go sell you that those little soapstones that you made in jail. Make you a quick little 60 bucks, and then you got to get up out the neighborhood though. So hopefully you don't live next to the jail, because they will come for you doing shit like that. But you can make a few dollars real quick. It's called the jailhouse soap scam. Shout out to Jacob Barraclough for correctly identifying what it is. Shout out to you, Jacob. Bath salts, you don't get bath salts in jail, sir. No bath salt in jail. How do you go to jail? You know what? I won't be the one to tell you. I'm not going to tell you how to go to jail. I'll tell you how to get out of jail. But I won't tell you how to go to jail. I can't tell you how to go to jail. That goes against my mission. So what I would tell you is, hey, don't do nothing wrong, bro, and you ain't got to worry about it. I'd known this one gay dude, and he ended up going to jail, and he said he sold himself in there and enjoyed it because I guess he liked it, plus he got money. That is very true, Kanye. The homosexual community does, in prison, in fact, offer themselves up if they don't have money coming in. I've seen it with my own eyes, but like at the same time, some of them just romance a guy who ain't never getting out. And prison is a very different world. Let's just say that. Well, I don't think that if you're any are you gay or something or what? Are you gay, Kanye? Is that what you're saying? What's going on, Khalifa? But anyway, hey man, listen, Kanye, I just want you to know that you might need to clean that up a little bit because it almost seems like you're saying that you're gay, but you're not with the whole selling yourself. I hope that's not the case, but if it is, hey man, don't worry. Stay out of jail and you won't have to worry about that. There's straight men who do it too. Like they call it gay for pay. You know, it's a very real thing. I mean, if you got female prostitutes, then you got to know there's male prostitutes. It's just part of the cycle of life. You know, I mean, it is what it is. And then if like you're not doing it on the street, and you end up in prison or jail. I mean, and you know you can get on your knees for a little bit of cheese. I mean, some cats gonna do it. Some cats gonna do it. You know, and hey man, you know, if it works for you, then it works for you, right? But like I feel you though, man. If that's not what you interested in, then make sure you stay far away from jail or prison cells or the prison life or the prison mentality. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, you think struggling on the streets is bad, struggling in prison is even worse. Because all you get every single day, no matter what, is 3 hots and a cot. And nowadays, you don't even get 3 hots. You get 2 hots. You get a hot breakfast and a hot dinner and a cold lunch. But you get that bed, right? So even if you know, your stomach touching your back, you'll be able to sleep it off. Wake up, get some water in your stomach, and figure out how you gonna eat the next day or the next cycle when you are done sleeping. And like I said, some guys will get on their knees for some cheese. And I mean that in both ways, you know. But other guys, you know, they like me, I learned skilled trades that exist on the yard, like making greeting cards, learning how to tattoo, doing hair, um, playing poker, gambling. There's a lot of ways to get paid, man. My main way to get paid was doing tattoos. That's what you hear, Jacob. It's not for the weak. It's funny you say that because there's a whole lot of weak ass motherfuckers in American prisons. What you what you think? You think prison is full of just a bunch of killers? Like, this ain't the 70s, man. It's a bunch of weak ass young niggas in prison that strike out early and end up spending 40 years of their life. And bro, don't get me started. Ain't prison. Listen. Prison is what you make it. You feel me? So let's start there. Prison is what you. If you a weak ass person, then they are going to identify you. There are predators. If that's your question, most definitely. But there are predators everywhere. There are predators at your job. There are predators at your school. There are predators in your neighborhood. There are predators everywhere you go. So when you go to prison, there are still going to be predators. You can't escape the predators because we live in a predatory world. There's a lot of predators, right? But it's like people think of prison like as if it was the 1970s still, where you got these big mega swole guys that you just, no, that's not prison at all. And now if you just weak and scary, then don't commit crimes, because you're gonna end up in jail and you're gonna end up in prison. And if that happens, and you ain't cut out to do time, then why you out there doing crimes, right? Because one thing about it is, when you end up on that yard, if you ain't got no families to support you, you ain't got no hustle, you ain't got no heart, then you going straight to PC, right? I'm talking about one-way ticket straight to PC. So if you don't want to, like, if you don't want to be about that life, then take your ass to work. Go to church. And stay out of trouble. Don't even speed. Don't run red lights. Don't argue with people. Don't knock shit over at McDonald's. Don't have no road rage. Just be a model citizen, and you won't have to worry about none of that, right? But like, the predators in prison today are not the same as yesterday. They don't force you to do nothing, right? Let me tell you, the people that get raped, the people that get taken advantage of, there's a theory that them convicts, they have, right? And this is the theory. If you get taken advantage of in prison, that was because you was a punk to begin with. You was already gay. You ain't like you're not finna go to the yard and get raped like this is the 1970s. Nah, that's not how it works. They gonna manipulate you out your booty nowadays. You ain't gotta get pressured. You ain't gotta get punked. You ain't gotta come up against it. No, it ain't like that. So just know that if it does happen, you was soft from the beginning. It was never gonna be anything other than that. Like, if you feel like you're weak, then that's what you wanted to do from the beginning. Like, that's just something that you were destined to do. Because any regular guy is not gonna go to prison and just like no one's gonna grape you, bro. Like, you're not gonna get graped. You're gonna give it up voluntarily. Let's just make that clear. You ain't gonna have to worry about getting bent over against your will. You're gonna end up bending over for your daddy. So just remember that. It ain't about getting pressured. I mean, it is, but it's more of a manipulation, right? Pressured is like 1970s, 1980s, 1960s, right? Maybe back then, like it could have really happened to you by force, but nowadays, bro, it like, and I can't even believe that we're in 2026 and there's still these people that get on these platforms and act like they're just so out of touch with what's going on. And like, man, I can't believe that shit. Like, y'all disappoint me, man, because like, where the fuck are you from? Well, you don't know this shit already. Like, how sheltered are your fucking parents? Like, sheltered? Like, how do you not know this shit? And why are you worried about what happens in prison if you're like not that kind of person and you come off like, oh, I don't know anything about prison. Can you tell me about prison? Because I really want to know. It's like, how does it go in there? Like, what's wrong with you motherfuckers, man? This little suburban mindset of I don't know anything about life. Oh my God, can you? You been to prison? Can you tell me about prison? How did it go in there? Like in 2026, we still got people that are just cuffed by their parents. Dad's a damn attorney, and mom works for a loan agency or something. Like they live in a nice house in the suburbs and all their neighbors got the same type of jobs. They drive Saabs and Audis and Mercedes and like, and so the kids are just so out of touch. But how are they out of touch, but they still want to know about prison? And not only do they want to know about prison, but they want to know what it's like to be gay in prison. You ain't out of touch, you curious. Stop asking questions about certain things because like, hey, it's just not, I mean, I'll tell you, but it's really not knowledge that you need to really even pursue. It's really not like you don't have to worry about it. But like I said, prison is not today what it was yesterday. There are predators everywhere. But like I said, there's predators in your neighborhood. There's predators at your school. There's predators at your job. There's predators at the stores. There's predators everywhere. There ain't just predators in prison. The predators end up in prison because they used to be predators in your neighborhood. Right? And I don't give a fuck what condition your neighborhood's in, whether you from the projects, the ghetto, the hood, or the suburbs, the subdivisions, the gated communities. If you think for a second there ain't predators in those subdivisions, in those gated community, there are predators everywhere. So don't worry about getting your booty manipulated in prison because like you can get your mind manipulated without even leaving out your gated community by the HOA. They don't want your booty. They want your money. They want you to pay for a sprinkler system that you don't even have. So just remember that, man. Stop worrying about what happens in prison, bro. Let me tell you, the worst thing that could happen to you while you're doing time is you go into jail, you catch 10 years, and you have a girlfriend, and she leaves you for your homeboy, and you write her a letter, and she sends you a one paragraph letter back to tell you that she no longer wants to be with you because she is now with your homie. That's probably the type of shit that would happen nowadays in prison versus like you getting raped. Motherfuckers in prison are just regular people the way we are right here chopping it up. We just regular people, man. Like they don't have these abnormally tough people. I don't even know how that's that programming though, where people just think there's these abnormally tough guys hidden off in the United States that are just taking booty and just mass murdering, just predator. Like, no, bro, they're just prison is weak as fuck. Niggas is just in prison trying to get out. Yeah, you got the gangs and all that. You can get the shit stabbed out of you, of course. But like, you got to be doing shit for that to happen. Just like most guys who get popped out on the street, they got to be doing something to get popped. You don't just walk down the street and then just pow 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 and then you no, that ain't how that go. Right? So I just want you to remember that. You think that wait a minute. See, now Kanye, now you're disappointing me, son. So you would say that people in prison tend to be more ignorant? Bro. You know what? We got to address this, right? Cuz I don't you are out of touch, brother, but don't worry, I'm going to tighten you right on up, man. Let me first and foremost, let me tell you something, bro. The most talent in the world is in prison. Don't forget that. The most talented people on earth are sitting in prison. The most intelligent people in the world are sitting in prison. Just like the most ignorant, but like you got your perception. Whoever told you about prison got you all messed up in the mind, man. You think some shit about prison that ain't even reality. Like you think prison is like based on movies that you've watched. Keep that shit in the movies, man. Like listen, you could get a college education in prison. Right? You can have a celly that'll help you. While you sitting here thinking your celly gonna grape you, you'll actually end up with a celly that'll help you change your ways, that'll help you change your life, that'll give you some books to read and a tablet to read, that to write on and say, here, man, I want you to read these books and change your life, youngin', because I don't want to see youngins like you coming through here no more, because I can see, man, you got a light in you that no one can put out, right? So while you thinking of getting raped, this is what the convicts are thinking. They thinking of saving the minds of people like you. But your ass come into prison thinking you finna get raped. Or you may have to sell some ass for some money. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what it is, man. Like you just gotta understand, man. Prison is a confinement for people that live a life out of desperation for the most part, man. That's what prison is. Prison is a place where you go when you get in trouble for living life out of desperation, whether you're hooked on drugs, you're hooked on crime, or whatever you doing, bro. Like prison is not what you think it is. It's not what the movie portrays it, right? It ain't, and it never has been, right? Prison is a place for rehabilitation, and there are a lot of guys that are nowhere near ignorant. I'm one of them. But I did know some ignorant people, though, most definitely. You right though. There's some ignorance in the pen, but like you have the ability to like not have to deal with that if you are a savvy-minded individual and you just have a brain on either the left or the right side of your head that works. You can avoid all that. But it like I want you guys to know something though. Like, hey man, like I'm not saying go to prison, but like you got prison fucked up. And I'm going to say it again. Some of the most talented people in the world are sitting in prison. Some of the most intelligent people in the world are sitting in prison. Some of the most powerfulest people in the world are sitting in prison. Don't look at the low levels. See, you're looking at it through, oh, this is the low levels. Like, oh, it's the toilet of society. It's not really the toilet of society. That's just what they want you to think. That the people in prison ain't worth nothing. They're just a bunch of convicts and killers and rapists and rob. No, that ain't nothing close to what that is. But you know what? That's why that's why I launched my channel, because I have a pursuit to change the perception of anybody who gravitates towards me. And if I can change the perception one individual at a time, then I'm on the right path. We ain't, and I didn't bring prison up just for clarification. I like a person wants to know about, this all started because a guy gonna sit there and be funny. He ha ha. How many times did you drop the soap in prison? You already know they ain't been nowhere near a prison asking some shit like that. Like that's like saying, oh, you gonna go to prison and they gonna put you in the cell with Big Bubba. Man, I ain't never met a Big Bubba in my life. In any compound I've ever been in, there is no such thing as Big fucking Bubba. There ain't no such thing as him. And even if it was, Big Bubba can get jugged 1,000 times in his neck before he sits up there and tries to do anything to anybody. Like, you better understand something. Like, that's the movies. In real life, Big Bubba would have got thrown over the tier. But I'll tell you what Big Bubba does do. He targets the weaklings, because there are weaklings in prison. People that wouldn't bust a grape with razor blade shoes in Welch's Grapes property. Those are the people that should have never committed no crime. Right? I'm going to tell you a quick story about this last time that I had to do time from 2009 to 2012, right? Into 2013. Quick little story. So I catch a case. I get caught with a carrying concealed weapon case. They caught me with a .357 Magnum. Walking down the street, I got pulled over and frisked by the police. I had a gun on me, right? So they got the gun. They wanted me to tell where I got the gun from. Obviously, I didn't tell them. I said I found it in a dumpster. So I had to do the time, right? They gave me a 2 to 6 year sentence when it was all said and done, right? So when you first get out, so you get sentenced, right? You sit in the county jail for about three weeks to a month before they find a bed for you upstate, right? So boom, they find a bed for me upstate. Hey, Mr. Such and Such, roll it up. You're on the train today. It's your lucky day. Okay, that means you're on your way to prison today. So I roll it up, get all my shit, slap hands with all my homies. I'll see y'all up there, man. All right, so boom, I'm up there, right? When you get up there, you got to go to a receiving unit. A receiving unit is a unit where you stay locked in your cell 24 hours a day. You don't even get to come out to get fresh air. You just come out every couple days to go to the shower. And then at some point within a 3-month period, you're going to visit with an official person called a caseworker. That caseworker is going to determine where you go from that receiving unit, right? That receiving unit is where you go until they determine, are you going to general population? Are you going to go to camp? Are you going to go to PC? Where are you going to go, right? So that usually could take anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months. I've seen guys sit back there for 6 months, right? I always thought that was suspect. But anyways, moving forward, right? So finally, on the 4th week for me, I visit the caseworker. He comes to the door, tells me where I'm going, say you've been approved, you all good, you going to GP. So by the end of tonight, just make sure all your stuff is packed. We'll probably have a movement going on tonight. So I'm in the cell. I'm excited. Me and my cellie both got rolled up on the same night. So we going to general population, right? So we got our shit ready, man. I mean, I got my mat rolled up in a donut with the sheet wrapped around it so I can wear it like a backpack with all my property stuffed inside it. You know, that's how you move. So anyways, they finally come right after dinner. They call us to roll it up. We go into our main unit and shit. We happy because we gonna have access to cigarettes, food, top ramen. We gonna see the homies. We just like, this is the day that the prisoners, this is the day we wait for, right? So it finally comes, right? So they file about 15 guys outside of the unit that we were in, right? And we all standing there. We got to wait for the guard to get all the people that are going to GP for that night. So while we standing on the wall talking to each other, right? I was at the front of the line so I could see the whole courtyard because there's other units, right? I can't explain it, ain't trying to explain it, but there's other units within each closed off courtyard of the prison. So there's, let's say, unit 1, A, B, C, D. That's fenced off. Then there's unit 2, A, B, C, D. That's fenced off from 1. And then there's unit 3, A, B, C, D. They're all fenced off as their own individual yard. So you get to be enclosed in unit 1 of A, B, C, D. And A, B, C, D are all separate units, right? So let's say I came out of unit B. I came out of unit 1B, right? As we're standing there getting ready to walk down the hill down to unit 5. And motherfucking, while we standing there, the side door opens to the unit, right? So we all look, because we're like, damn, who's coming out? Let's see, we thinking the inmate's coming out. Oh yeah, inmate definitely came out, right? But that inmate came out in a body bag, right? So we looking like, what the hell? They bring the coroner is, we didn't even know the coroner was there. He wheels a body out of the unit. Come to find out, the body that he wheels out is a child predator, right? That had got sentenced to like 30 years in prison. And he was over there in unit B getting harassed and tormented and persecuted and just all of that kind of shit. So he finally decided to take his own life. He couldn't take it. He was like, this is going to be the abuse I have to take for the rest of my time here. I'm going to go ahead and end it. So we sitting up there, we on our way to general population. The unit he was in on the B side is the PC, right? That's where all the child predators and shit like that go. Nah, this ain't cap, homie. This real talk. So the coroner wheels him out, right? We see him. And I'm like, damn, this is my first day. I'm about to head down to the yard. This is like a bad omen right here. Like, how the fuck we see a body on our first day hitting the yard and shit, right? So the mortician knows the guard, because the guard that's transporting us down the hill, he's like, he's been there for a long time. Everybody knows him. He's got respect from the inmates and the other guards. So he's cool. He don't mind us observing this body bag that's coming out the unit. He's the one that tells us, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that dude right there, he was a child molester, right? He was a chomo, and he ended his life because they were fucking with his food. They were banging on his wall all night. They was doing everything you could do to him, and he finally gave up. So I was like, damn, that's cold, man. But anyways, let's get down this hill, man, because I'm trying to have me a smoke. I'm trying to eat some top ramen. I'm hungry. Like, we wasn't going to keep talking about this guy, because, like, that's what happens. You see it, you internalize it for a few seconds, and then you move on, right? But that's why you want to stay out of prison, because, like, that's the kind of stories that you're going to come across. And that ain't the only body that I've seen. It's just, that's one that, you know, I remember because it was my very first day on the yard. It was terrible. It was unfortunate. And, you know, for me, I'm like, I don't like to see anybody lose their life, whether they a child molester or not. Like, I'm not God, so I'm not the person that, you know, it's not my, I can't pass that type of judgment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't pass that type of judgment to where somebody is like, now if I were to ever take a life, that would be something I'd have to deal with. But me not being God, and me not even being in a position to where I don't, you know, I don't determine who lives and who don't. It's not my job. I was just in prison for some bullshit, right? A weapon that, you know, I definitely had in my possession, but like at the same time, you know, it ain't something that was no violent crime or anything like that. And then, you know what? Honestly, as I was in prison, I got caught with multiple knives, tattooing equipment, was in a couple fights. I got away with all my fights though, but like the guards still knew I fought, but I didn't get any incident reports generated from the fights. But the knife, I got caught with a knife twice. Bro, they gave me 18 months in the hole
back to back. I did 18 months on one case when I was in the Supermax. Then I got out. They let me do like 16 months out of 18 months in the hole. So I did 16 months straight in the fucking hole, right? I get out in 16 months. I go back to the yard. They send me to a minimum security yard. I get down there. I get into it with this person, right? He trying to act tough. I get into it with him. I got 3 blades. I got 1 poker and I got 2 razor sharp blades, right? Because, I'm the type of, I keep shit like that. So instead of getting into it, do you know what this dude does? This dude goes and drops a motherfucking kite on me, and the police come and take me out of the unit, search my cell, and they don't find the 2 blades. They only find the poker. But the poker was built very well. I'm talking about it was a poker. And so they find that. They give me another 18 months, man. Because this time they don't find just the poker. They find my tattooing equipment. Because just so happens, the day that the police came and raided me, I had just got through giving my cellie a tattoo of some prayer hands on his arm. And I wasn't finished. So he was going to wait till after count so I could finish inking up his arm. And so when I do that, right after count, they come before they open the cells up for free time again. They don't even open the cells. They come and shake me down. So they find the poker and they find the tattooing equipment and they find all of it. They find all kind of patterns that I had, drawings and all kind of shit, right? And so they take me to the hole. Another 18 months, right? I was sick, man. See, so the good part about that was I didn't have 18 months left on my sentence by that time, but I did have a fresh, easy 10 months. So I had to go sit in the hole for 10 months straight. So altogether, I did 26 months in confinement, you know, over dealing with these busterinos and these fools that wasn't about to do nothing but drop a kite and snitch. But these are the gangsters that everybody's afraid to go to prison over. These are the motherfuckers that people are like, I don't want to go to prison because I don't want to be a target. But guess what happens? I get kites dropped on me and I had to go sit in the hole for these same exact dudes that claim they run into prisons. Like these clowns, they ain't running nothing but they mouth. They really some informants. They ain't like, bro, you ain't got to worry about, well, I don't know. I don't know what you got to worry about, but so then on my second term, right, they keep me in the hole on the minimum security yard for like 3 to 5 months. Maybe, no, 3 months, 3.5 months. I had to sit in the minimum security, which was cool because I was back there winning sports bets. I was eating spreads. My homeboys was coming through from the yard and shit. So I was able to just get little shit that, so it wasn't too bad. It was when they sent me out because they had reclassified me to maximum security for no damn reason at all. And when you get sentenced to maximum security, they send you 500 miles away up north to Ely State Prison, which is where the lifers, which was where when you go into that prison, you can't even fight nobody. They have a policy. If you get into it with anyone in this prison, you have to kill them. That's the policy in that prison. And they got videos on YouTube about that place where once you hit that yard, it's a whole totally different set of rules. And if you don't follow them, then you can't hit the yard there. And if you do, they gonna poke your ass out. Nah, O.J. Simpson wasn't in Ely. O.J. Simpson was in Lovelock, where all the child molesters and the transsexuals are. He was in NNCC probably, but I don't even think OJ was in NNCC. OJ was in Lovelock. That's where OJ was at. Lovelock. You can go there, but that's you gonna be around all the heinous criminals that you hear about on the news that molest and kill children. That's where they end up. I don't know. Epstein was on the East Coast. I was on the West Coast, and I'll tell you who I was locked up with, though. I was locked up with Rick Tabish, if you know who that is. I used to see his bitch ass walking on the yard with a little bodyguard because he had a $40,000 hit on his head. So they had the white boy, big buff. It's funny because the white boy that was his bodyguard acts black. But he's so big that even the racist white boys, they don't want no smoke. Because this dude, not only is he big, muscly, but he's a UFC fighter. So the white boys didn't want to deal with that. I mean, they would have if they had to, but if they can avoid it, that's what they do, right? Well, I was locked up on the yard with Rick Tavish. He was the law clerk, you know. He I used to see him all the time and shit. But anytime you see him moving across the yard, he got his bodyguard with him. And the bodyguard was assigned to him by certain friends of his on the yard, and the police didn't intervene because they knew if no, but the dude looked like Brock Lesnar, I'll tell you that. Dude was built like Brock Lesnar. Big old white dude with hella tattoos, but he wasn't a racist. He was a UFC fighter that got caught up. But that was his bodyguard and shit. And if you try to do anything to Ricky, the bodyguard didn't even need a knife. He'll just pick you up and dip you on your head, and that'll be the end of you. You'll either bust your head open or break your neck, and then like basically ain't nobody try to collect that 40,000 while I was there. Nobody, ain't not one person try to collect that 40,000 while I was there, right? Nobody wanted that smoke. Because they already knew that the police was watching Rick anyway. So they was like, and if you want to know who Rick Tavish is, bro, Rick Tavish is responsible with a girl named Sandra Murphy, I believe her name was. Her and Rick Tavish conspired to unalive a guy that owned a casino in Las Vegas, a big known casino, and they successfully ended his life. And then they got caught up for it, and the family put a $40,000 hit on one of the people that was involved's head, which was the guy I was talking about. And he had to watch himself in prison because they was trying to get him. But so they gave him a bodyguard, and they picked the right guy, because the guy they picked, like I said, was big swole 6'3" white dude on mega swole, and he was so big and he knew how to fight that if you even try to approach him with some bullshit, he don't gotta stab you. He'll just put you in a, you know, I don't know how all them UFC terms, but I'll tell you this, you didn't want to fuck with him, though. Yeah, they unalived Ted Binion. And they did it because they thought that he had $7 million in silver buried around his property. But after they unalived him, they didn't find the silver, which I believe he did have it, but he just didn't have it where they thought it was at. Because what casino owner ain't going to have some shit like that, right? But at any rate, you know, I had to go up north for 9 months to the Supermax and shit, right? And it was terrible. It's in the middle of nowhere. You look out your back window, all you see is like a group of cows that circle the prison every day, all day, grazing. That's all you see is mountains. You don't even see no planes flying over that area of Nevada. All you see is these cows pass your window every couple hours. That's all you see. And you see the perimeter truck that makes sure the gate's not breached. You'll see him and the cows, and that's it. You might get occasional butterfly that passes your window, but very, very, very depressing. Kids, don't go to prison for any reason. Don't do it. Hey, but check it out though, right? I'm gonna how do you buy contraband in prisons? Bro, I can't tell you that. Then my homies gonna be trying to get me if I ever gotta go back. I can't give up them kind of secrets, bro. Because if I tell you, I'm basically telling the whole world. Kanye says thoughts on correctional officers. Man, bro, they got some fine ones. I wish I could have. You know what? We don't. I can't comment on that. I can just say there's a lot of cool guards and there's some assholes. I remember one particular guard that was an asshole. He got caught up for child pornography in his computer. I remember another guy that got transferred down from the Supermax prison. He was a younger white guy and they didn't give him his first paycheck and he was broke as fuck. And so what he ended up doing is he went and started armed robbing businesses in Las Vegas. And so he went from prison guard to prison inmate. So with that being said, some of these people are just like us. You guys have a good night. I'm gonna tap back in later.